What's going on? Happy Tuesday night. My last night at age 38. Yeah, 38. Turning 39 tomorrow. My last year in my 30s. Hopefully this holds up, by the way, because every time I do one of these in my actual car, not the truck, but the car, the whole thing seems to fall down every time I try to do it. So hopefully it holds up. We'll see. I did see Endgame today. Finally saw Endgame today. My wife took me out for my birthday. Well, early birthday, should I say. It's kind of cool because this is the second year in a row she's done this. Like, last year she took me out for my birthday to see Infinity War because it came around the same time. And now she took me this year to see Endgame. Loved it, of course. Actually cried twice. Teared up. I don't like to say cry, but I teared up twice in the movie. I won't say why. I'm trying to keep it spoiler free because everybody's bitching about spoilers again. And we'll get to that in a second. But the movie was great. Obviously, I definitely give it a top 5 all-time MCU movie. I still preferred Infinity War. I still preferred Ragnarok. It's definitely a top 5. I'll probably do maybe one day I'll do a power rankings of all the MCU's Marvel comic universe movies in order. I'm actually going to watch the entire 22 or 23. I don't know. I think it's 22 movies. My wife and I decided to do it again. I think next week when I start watching in order of release. Actually, not in order of the storylines, but order of release. Next week. So hopefully that we'll do that and refresh because I've seen all the movies other than Captain Marvel, but I didn't. It's been a while since I've seen like Iron Man. It's been a while since I've seen Captain America. You know. And I'm not going to go through the whole process again every time it's a new movie because the movies come out every 6 months. You know, there's too much. It's too much to binge, too. Too many shows to binge anyways. So, but yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. It was great. Definitely give it like a 4.5, 5 stars on there. Enjoyed it. And by the way, it's great going to movies in the morning because at my theater in my area, they do not just Tuesday matinees now for $5. It's all day Tuesday now, $5. So we might make that kind of a thing now with my wife and I, because I don't work till nighttime on Tuesdays, so I can actually, if I could get a babysitter to watch my youngest one, I could probably my wife and I could do like a couple like date days or whatever, you know, on Tuesdays to go to the movies. Cause I kind of miss it, you know, because I've said for a long time that I haven't gone to movies a lot. I don't go to movies a lot anymore. I pretty much go to movies maybe like 2-3 times a year tops. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. You know, and if it's cheaper to go on Tuesday and spend $5, maybe get a soda and a popcorn, whatever, or candy, whatever. I mean, I can hack that a week. You know, it's not that bad. And plus, it's another way for my wife and I to connect. You know, because we both love movies and TV and all that. So it's another way for us to connect as well. But it was kind of cool, man. I love the Tuesday matinees. Best time to go to the movies is definitely the mornings. I went to the 10 o'clock showing this morning. So again. Great movie, Endgame. Definitely a top 5er. Very emotional for me. Like I said, I won't spoil anything. Which now we'll get to the next discussion point here because we've had this. Sorry for the car in the background. Next discussion point about spoilers because my wife and I got into a huge discussion and I would even say a bit of an argument about spoilers and spoilers in terms of not just Avengers but Game of Thrones. Like, when is it a good time to spoil a movie? When is it a good time to have a conversation on social media about the product that you are going to quote-unquote spoil? I've said for a long time that movies should have at least, especially movies like Endgame, the big blockbusters, should have at least 2 weeks to a month before you actually just go out there and start blabbing about the movie. Now, I got accused today because I shared on my Instagram story this morning. It was a meme from the Game of Thrones account of all the characters that died on the last episode, and it had the context in the bottom too. Because if I send stuff, if I share a meme, obviously, I'm gonna try to share the meme without actually having to have much context in it, so people still be in the dark. Like all the Damian Lillard memes, for example, that came out. You know, all the sports-related memes. If you don't watch sports, you know, you may not even get it. You know, with Arya and what she did, obviously. But it's one of those things where, like, when is a spoiler a spoiler? I think we have a situation now where people don't want, like, okay, for Game of Thrones. My wife thinks I spoiled the show. And maybe some of the way I did, because when I shared it on my Instagram story this morning, it came with the context in the bottom, saying that, their watch is over. So they assume, obviously, those characters died. So I get that. I'm wrong there. But overall, spoilers are... When is a spoiler... When is it enough time on Game of Thrones, a show that's done every week, when is it enough time to start talking about the show on social media? So I posted this morning on Facebook saying that I believe that after 48 hours, maybe even 72 hours, I believe it's enough time for a person that if they prioritize the show as much as they say they do, that you can post about the show. Especially a show that's weekly. Like, because the conversation on Game of Thrones is going to change every week. So I put up some polls on Twitter. You can check it out there if you get a chance. If you're watching this on right now, on Twitter, put it on Facebook, and I put it on Instagram. Is 48 to 72 hours enough adequate time for before I can post stuff on my opinions on social media? And I'm not even going to say, Arya did this, or liking did this. I'm just saying having a conversation that's not people going to say, you're spoiling it. Is enough time? I don't know. So most people so far through the polls agree with me that it's more enough time. But people said, people have situations, this and that, and I get all that. But I shouldn't be responsible for every single person's situation. I had one person tell me that they're on season 2 still. Like, why is it my fucking problem then if you're on season 2 that did I spoil the show? Season 2 was literally 7 years old. Like, you do understand, like, season 2 when it came out, I didn't have kids yet. I have 2 kids since then. Okay? Barack Obama was his first term of president. So, it's not my fault that you decided to watch the show now. That's not my fault. I shouldn't be penalized for not posting anything. And people saying, well, my wife was telling me today, why do you feel the need to put on social media? Because it's a conversation. It's a nice conversation to have. It's like sports. It's one of Game of Thrones. The beauty of Game of Thrones is this, and I keep saying this every year. Game of Thrones is the very last event show we have. Honestly, that we watch at the same time. A show that's literally you have to watch in a moment. Okay? I think the only one that I even compare it to is The Walking Dead. I'm not a Walking Dead fan. Sorry. I'm not a fan of the show. I watched season 1 and then and after that I checked out. Game of Thrones has that kind of mentality. I treat Game of Thrones the way I treat sports. One of the reasons I love football so much is not just the fact that you watch it Saturday and Sundays, but I enjoy the water cooler talk in between the weeks. Game of Thrones has the same vibe. So why would it, prioritize it? If you prioritize the show like you say you do, then 72 hours max should be enough. I want to talk about the show with people. People say, well, we'll just talk to your friends about it individually. Yeah, because I have 1,800 followers on 1,600 followers on Twitter, another 1,000 on Facebook, and I'm going to call each person on there to talk about it on the phone. I'm not doing that. I'm not texting them individually. This is what social media. This is why social media exists in the first place. Is to have that communal talk with people, even random folks on Twitter. Why would I want to stop that? The same. Now, again, I'm not one of those people going to sit there and just post spoilers just because to be a dick. I mean, I could be a total asshole and actually live tweet the show as it's on. That's a dick move. It's me live tweeting the show on Facebook. Some folks I know do that, and that's their right. Just saying. So, I don't know, man. I'm sick of people bitching about, what spoil. I think with movies, you should get about at least 2 weeks to a month tops before it's considered a spoiler. I think a show like Game of Thrones, you have 3 days, bro. If you get 3 days, you can't watch the show. That's not my problem anymore. I want to talk my shit. I'm gonna talk my shit. So that's it. Period. A discussion. So boom. So that's that. All right. Playoff games tonight. I'm raising up right now to watch the playoff games. I got Milwaukee come. I don't know. The game is started. I don't know what's going on, but Milwaukee, I got them come back winning, bouncing back and winning. And I got Golden State winning game 2 as well. The Rockets, what they're doing now, they're bitching about last year. Remember last year, Game 7, when they, lost to the Warriors in 7 games. And now the Rockets complain now that the referees got awful calls in that series. I'm sorry. Didn't you guys miss 27 straight three-pointers in Game 7 for a chance to go to the finals? Yes, I get you didn't have Chris Paul, and I get that. But you missed 27 straight three-pointers. I am sick of the bitching with the Rockets, man. Like, the one thing the Rockets are doing right now, which is so insane, is they're making the Warriors likable now. With all the bitching they're doing. They're making the Warriors likable. And I never thought it was possible. And James Harden is the same thing. You know, he's making the Warriors likable. And I wish he'd just shut up. I mean, again, I said it on the last Periscope yesterday. It's just so rich to hear James Harden talk about how he's not getting calls, not getting foul calls. Like, are you serious? Dude, you lead the league by a wide margin. I saw a stat today that he has about 95 fouls called on three-point shots. And then you want to bitch about not getting calls? Are you serious right now? Like, stop. Like, seriously. So, the Rockets are making the Warriors likable. And I never thought it was possible. So, I have Golden State. I think Houston is the best chance to control the series in Game 1. I like Golden State tonight to win. I mean, I don't think you'll have another bad Curry and Clay game again. You had a bad Curry and Clay game in Game 1, and you still lost. So, how many more times can you have Clay and Curry have a bad game like that? Sorry, it ain't happening. So, give me the Warriors tonight. Give me the Bucks to bounce back. Shout out to John Singleton, who passed away yesterday. Very sad, man, because that guy was a large part of my childhood, man. Obviously, he directed one of my favorite videos of all time. And by the way, the video happens to have my favorite singer, my favorite artist, my favorite athlete, and actor of all time in the same one, Michael Jackson, Remember the Time. But also, his work with Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice and Higher Learning, all that. I mean, John Singleton was a large part of my childhood, shaping a lot of what I learned about my culture growing up. And sorry, who's the turn here? I mean, it's very sad. He's so young, 51 years old. I mean, I didn't think he was that young. I thought maybe he'd been like in his late 50s, early 60s, but 51 years old. I mean, that's so sad. So, rest in peace to John Singleton. One of the greats of all time. What else? Oh yeah, I want to wax shit about Dave Gettlemen. I'm a Giants fan, obviously, so I got a lot to say about Dave Gettlemen. You know, he's out here in the media defending picking Daniel Jones in the first round as high as he did, and saying, you know, there were two teams that he was absolutely sure of that were going to pick him, and he didn't pick him as early. My thing is just, if you have to sit there and defend yourself over and over again, you're probably talking about bullshit. You're probably talking the same bullshit. Just own it. You like Jones. You think this is your guy moving forward. Own it. Sit on the sword, and that's it. He says also in his press conference, I think it was today or yesterday, that we'll see in 3 years if it's a mistake. Like, that's even assuming it lasts 3 years. And you know, it's funny, Dave Gettleman is getting clowned on social media. Some of it's deserved, obviously, but he was once upon a time a really good executive. You know, he managed the Panthers a couple years ago to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So I mean, it's not like he knows his football. I'm not going to sit and criticize him not knowing his football, but some of the things he's done, I mean, in the last 2 years alone, definitely makes you want to scratch your head. You know, so I don't know. I told you guys last week on the Periscope that I'm not going to get high or low about this anymore. I'm going to sit here. I'm just going to let this thing play out. I'm not going to allow Dave Gettleman and the Giants front office to, fluctuate my blood pressure. Sorry, I'm not doing it. So hopefully he does the right thing. Hopefully it works out. As a Giants fan, obviously, but I have my doubts. Yes. Do I think it's a chance? Yes. Anything's possible. It's a crap. At the end of the day, the draft's a crapshoot, bro. The draft's a crapshoot. So that's that. I don't think what else I want to talk about on the show before I get out of here. I think it was at the Gettleman stuff. I had the playoffs. I have John Singleton. Yeah, I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I'm turning 39 tomorrow. Damn. I'm turning 39 years old and I feel like 60. Like my shoulder's been bad the last couple weeks, so my shoulder and my arm has been horrible the last couple weeks. So I feel like I'm 6 years old. I'm like falling apart. So I need to get back in the gym again. I need to get back and eat healthier. That's one of my goals, man. Stay live a long time once my kids get older. So I guess that's it for now. Check in tomorrow probably, hopefully, for birthday. So, kisses. This, of course, this Periscope will be also edition. We have audio for this too, the Unfiltered Podcast, Unfiltered. That's on iTunes, to be on Stitcher Radio soon, and Spotify and all that. But also, this video will be on YouTube as well, to my YouTube page. So, till then, love you guys. Take care. Enjoy your night. Later.